Very good morning. So in this video lessons we are going to discuss about seed production techniques involved in rice hybrid seed production. So that different system of male sterility itself we studied. That cytoplasmic genetic male sterility system is very commonly followed for hybrid seed production in the case of rice. So as far as that India is concerned, we are following that cytoplasmic genetic male sterility system. In short, call it as a CGMS. Whereas wherever that ideal climatic conditions are there for production of the hybrid through TGMS, that is thermogenic male sterility systems, or photoperiod like PGMS systems, there they are also following. Particularly the environmental genic male sterility system is followed for hybrid seed production in the case of China. But here in India, that kind of climate is not prevailing. So because of that, we are following that three-line systems or cytoplasmic genetic male sterility systems for hybrid seed production in the case of rice. So I want to remember and recollect that informations about that cytoplasmic genetic male sterility systems. So in the case of cytoplasmic genetic male sterility systems, we will have three parental line materials. One is A, that is a male sterile line. Another one is B, that is a maiden line. By the way of crossing of that A into B, we will multiply that male sterile line. So here that male sterility is governed by that cytoplasmic genome. So because of that, during that crossing of that A cross B, the resultant progeny will be of male sterile nature, and that nucleus, everything is whatever that is available in the A. So because of that, without any problem, we are multiplying that A line material in these particular systems. So once that A line material is multiplied in sufficient quantity, after that we have to go for that hybrid seed production. So for the purpose of hybrid seed production, we have to cross A with R. So here that A is a female parent because it's our male sterile systems, whereas that R line, that is a restorer line, so that going to act as a male parent. So another add-on feature of that R line is concerned that have a fertility restoration gene. So that have the fertility restoration gene. So because of that, if you cross A with R, from the A we will harvest that seeds. Even though that cytoplasm of that A is sterile, due to presence of that fertility restoration gene in the R nucleus, that resultant progeny able to produce a viable pollen grain, so that able to produce seeds. So that is the advantage of these particular systems. So because of that, here we are using three lines. So this system is very well adapted in almost all our agriculture crops like rice and sorghum, maize, sunflower, and most of the crops. That is the thing. The same system only we are going to discuss in these particular presentations. And then another system that is there, that is that environmental genic male sterility systems. So this also comes under that GMS based systems, either it is a TGMS or PGMS, and the male sterility gene that is available in the nucleus under the control of temperature or in the photoperiod. Whenever that ideal temperature is prevail, at the time only that particular gene will express, make that particular plant as a male sterile. The rest of the period, that plant able to produce a viable pollen grain. So because of these advantages, that multiplication of that line is also easy, and hybrid seed production also very easy. So in this case, we need to have only two lines alone, no need to have 3 lines and all. So that is advantage of that one. But this kind of climate prevalence must be there, so then only we can adapt these particular systems. So here I have given that images of that fertile rice flower and male sterile rice flower. So here you can see, if it is a fertile, so that will have that 6 number of anthers will be there, yellow color anthers will be there, that also yellow in color and plumpy in appearance. Whereas if it is a sterile one, here you can see, so you cannot see that the plumpy, that ball kind of things. So that will be papery nature, and totally devoid of any anthers. So totally it's a male sterile nature. So this is in short about that cytoplasmic genetic male sterility systems, or TGMS or PGMS, that are followed for hybrid seed production in the case of rice. in today's presentation we are going to discuss that hybrid seed production paddy based on cytoplasmic genetic materiality systems. So the previous video lessons we were discussed about that seed production, varietal seed production in the paddy. So whatever the matter there we were discussed, so everything is applicable here. So some that isolation distance, some of the aspects alone differ when compared to that variety. So that and all we can discuss. So the season, ideal season for cultivation of that hybrid paddy crop in Tamil Nadu is concerned. And if it is a Kharif season, we have to take up that sowing in the second fortnight of May. It's a Rabi season, second fortnight of December. That is a season ideal. And another main thing with reference to the rice hybrid seed production is concerned, and the prevalence of climate is very important. So the prescribed climate must be there, then only there is a synchronized flowering between the that A line and R line. Whenever that flower going to be there in the A line, at the time flowering must be there in the R line, and then only we can convert all the male flower into a seeds, or otherwise what will happen if at all there won't be any synchronization of flowering between that A and R, means only that A alone comes to flowering. At the time there won't be any flower at R, means there won't be any pollen supply for the today's opened flower at A line. So due to non-availability of pollen, whatever the flowers open today in the A line, everything become a chappy one. So in order to avoid that one, we have to ensure synchronized flowering between the A into R. So that is very important. So but in the case of rice, particularly in Tamil Nadu and India, we are facing the problem of that non-synchronization between the A into R line. Okay, sometimes that that A will comes to flowering early, that R will comes to flowering late. So sometimes that A will be in a flowering stage. At the time there won't be any flower in the there won't be any flower open in the R line. At the time there won't be any pollen supply for A. So because of that we are facing a lot of problem. This is a major problem. So in order to overcome all these problems, already that the crop scientists, they identified that climatic conditions that is ideal for making both the plants to comes to flowering on the same time. Anyhow, so this and all we cannot predict or we cannot provide, but anyhow some of the seasons we can expect the temperature and late humidity and the day night temperature and all in this particular range. So during that time we can plan to take up that hybrid seed production. So that ideal climatic conditions for seed production, hybrid seed production in rice is concerned, that during the time the daily mean temperature should be of 24 to 30 degrees Celsius, and the late humidity should be of 70 to 80%, and the difference between day and night temperature should be of 8 to 10 degrees Celsius, and sufficient sunshine must be there, and wind velocity should be 2 to 3 meters per second. It should not be too high. Suppose that wind velocity is more, particularly during that peak flowering time, whatever that pollen is available in the R line, everything will be carried away from the field. So that leads to causes problem to fertilization and pollination fertilization of the A line. So that resulted in the lesser seed set in the A line. So this and all some problem. So that ideal wind velocity also must be there. Then another major thing is that free from continuous rain for about 10 days during that peak flowering time. If at all any heavy rain occur at the time of flowering, so whatever that pollen grains are formed in the R line, everything will be washed away. Once that pollen everything is washed away, there won't be any pollen supply to the A line. Automatically there won't be any seed formation in the A line. So from the A line we can harvest only the straw. So these are all some major problems encountered by the Indian farmers with reference to cultivation of that hybrid for seed purpose in paddy. So in order to overcome all these problems, we have to ensure or we have to cultivate the crops whenever this kind of ideal climate is prevail. So that's the thing. This is with reference to that climatic preference as far as that rice hybrid seed production is concerned. And then next one is that isolation. So here for hybrid seed production purpose, we converted that self-pollinated crop into cross-pollinated. So once you say hybrid seed production means that should be through cross-pollination. That cross-pollination should be occur between the selected female parent and selected male parent. So here that rice also during that hybrid seed production that become a cross-pollinated one. So once it is a cross-pollinated one, automatically we have to fix more isolation distance. So in that angle, that paddy for foundation seed production stage, we have to fix 200-meter isolation distance. So we have to have a 200-meter isolation distance for foundation seed stage. Normally during that foundation seed stage, what we will do is we will do that A into B, that is a multiplication of the parental line will be take place. A into B and R will be multiplied in a separate block, and A into B rice in one particular block. So by that way we will do a multiplication of the A line in the FS stage. Similarly in the breeder seed stage also we will do that A cross B and R line. So R line will be raised in separate places and allowed for self-pollination. By that way that R line material will be multiplied. By the way of raising that A into B, we will pollinate that A with the help of the pollen produced on the B line. So by that way that A will be multiplied. So in the case of hybrid, we are following that generation system also, that is a 3 generation systems. So here what we are doing is during that breeder seed stage, we are multiplying the parental line. So breeder stage we will do that A cross B and R multiplication separately. During that FS also we will do the same thing, A into B then R. So by the way we are multiplying. So only during that CS stage only we are entering into the hybrid. So we will make a into R. A into R we will do only at a CS stage, because once that hybrid is produced, that hybrid is used only for that grain production. So the F1 will be distributed for grain production purpose. So because of that, at the CS stage alone we will do that hybrid seed production. So that foundation level we will multiply that parental line materials. So during that time we have to maintain the 200-meter isolation distance, whereas during hybrid seed production A into R, that is certified level, we have to maintain the distance of 100 meter. So that is a thing. Then provisions are there for providing that time isolation also. If you are going to follow the time isolation means we have to give a 21 days adjustments, okay, or otherwise we can follow that barrier isolation also. So here we can use a vegetative barrier like maize, Sesbania or sugarcane, and sometimes we can use that artificial barrier like erecting that plastic sheets for about the height of 2 meter. So this and all some possibilities with reference to isolation of your seed crop from the possible genetic contaminants. So this also very important operations. Then next one is seeds. So we have to use that authenticated seed material, and here that the seed rate is for parental line multiplication purpose we have to use that A line 20 kg per hectare, B line 10 kg per hectare, and R line 10 kg per hectare. For hybrid seed production purpose normally we will use that A into R. So for hybrid seed production purpose we will use that A into R. So during that stage we have to use 20 kg of that A line, and 10 kg of that R line material will be used for sowing purpose. So here also we are following the transplanting. So once you follow that started to follow the transplanting operation means we have to raise the nursery. So we have to raise the nursery. So here we have to have a separate nursery for the A line material, and an isolated block we have to raise that nursery for R line also. So in 2 block we have to maintain. So one for that A, another one for the R line in a separate beds. So once that seedlings are ready, we have to transplant the seedlings. I already told you in the case of hybrid, we have to follow that planting ratio. Planting ratio means the ratio between the female parent and male parent. In the case of rice, we are following that planting ratio of 8:2, 8 rows of that female and 2 rows of the male. Sometimes there we are following that 10:2 also, 10:2 also, that also permissible one. So here 8 is your A line and 2 is your R line material. This is a system of planting we have to follow. In the case of paddy, we are following that line systems. So here you can see that 2 rows of that R line followed by 8 rows of that A line material. After that again you have to repeat that one, 2 lines of the R again, and that 8 rows of that A line will be raised in these directions. So these are systems we are following. Another main thing with reference to that transplanting, the direction, that orientation of the direction of that line planting, that should be based on the wind direction. Suppose at the time of flowering, the wind direction is expected to flow on this direction, means you have to plant the material this way. So this direction, the wind direction going to be there, means you have to plant this way. So at the time only, whatever that pollens available in the R line, that will be transferred to the A line material. Similarly, that wind direction in on both the direction, this direction and that direction, means so whatever that the things are available in the R line, that will be transferred to your female parent, that is A line. So there will be a seed set. But in case of change of wind velocity, instead of in these directions, suppose the wind velocity direction changes on these directions, what will happen? Whatever that pollens available in the R line, that will be transferred to R line alone. There won't be any transfer of pollen from R to A. So that resulted in the harvesting of the chappy material from the A line. So at the time of planting, you must get the information about that wind directions at the time of the flowering. So that is very, very important operation as far as that hybrid seed production is concerned. Suppose that wind direction going to be there on this direction, means you have to take our planting this way. So you have to plant this way. Okay, so that is a thing. So that is a very, very important one. But anyhow, that whatever that pollen that are produced by the R line, that should reaches the A line. Then only you can harvest hybrid seeds from the A line, or otherwise you cannot get any seed material from the A line. So that is a very, very important thing as far as that planting of that R into A material in the main field. Again, the thing is how many number of seedlings we can place in A as well as R. In A there won't be any problem, but in the case of R line, if you decided to transplant only one seedling per hill, means so here only one seedling alone going to be there here. So here that A line material is there. If at all that flowering period of that R line is coincide with the A line, there won't be any problem at all. Whatever that flower going to be there in the A line, that will be supplied with the pollen from the R line. Suppose if it is a mismatch, and another thing is, I already told you, the flowering period also for about 8 to 10 days. In the case of paddy, in general, 8 to 10 days. So today that 10% of the plant will open, the next day another 20, like that. So it's a scattered way, but all the plant will comes to flowering within 8 to 10 days. So throughout the 8 to 10 days of flowering period, we have to ensure that supply of the pollen. Suppose here you have followed a single seedling and transplanting process. So here in the A and the R, you planted only one seedling, single seedling per hill. Here that A also planted with single seedling. Suppose is there any mismatch with reference to flowering, so that A comes to flowering early. So today the date may be of 17. On 17th, some other plants available in the A line comes to flowering. On 17th, there won't be any flower in the R line, means whatever that the flower open today in the A line, everything will become a chappy one. So here we cannot convert all those flower into seeds. That is mainly due to a non-supply of pollen from the R line. Suppose the R comes to flowering early. At the time there won't be any flower in an open condition in the R line, mean there won't be any problems. So whatever that pollen that is appeared in the R line, that will be used for self-pollinations. But if at all any advancement in the R line with reference to flowering when compared to R line, at the time only whatever that flowers appear in the R line, everything will become a chappy. So this is non-synchronizations. So this is also a major problem as far as that rice hybrid seed production is concerned. Because of this problem only, most of the farmers not ready to take up that paddy hybrid seed production. But anyhow, we have some technology. So by adapting those technology, we can easily overcome that particular problem. So to overcome that particular problem, right now what we are recommending is, instead of planting up one seedling per hill, in the case of our line, we have to plant 2 to 3 seedling per hill, 2 to 3 seedlings per hill, and the age of that the 3 seedlings also, that should be in 3 different stages. Say example, this is the R line. So here you decided to plant a 3 seedling per hill. Per hill we are going to place 3 seedling. All the 3 seedlings of 3 different ages. What we are going to place that 3 seedling with the 3 different ages means, I can show you that next one. So there you will get that clear information. Here you can see. So this is a diagram that represents that R line planted with the single seedling per hill. R line planted with a single seedling per hill. R line planted with a single seedling per hill, and also the dotted line that indicates that flowering period of that the dotted line that indicate the flowering period of the A line, whereas that solid line that indicate that flowering period of that R line. So now we have some hybrid. In this hybrid we have some identified male sterile line. So in this male sterile line, that flowering period is for about 10 to 12 days. In this case this is recorded as 12 days. So suppose that comes to flowering on 2nd, means so that for completion of that flowering in the A line, so that will take for about a 12 days period of time. So 12 days period. So the flowering period is 12 days. So in this case you planted only one seedling per hill in the R line. So at the time that some of the R line, that flowering period is only for about 8 days. Okay, only 8 days. And this comes to flowering on 2nd day. Sometimes suppose that R line that comes to flowering on 4th day, that is 2 days after A line, means so that started to give a pollen to A line from the 4th day onwards only, from 4th day to up to 12th day. But whatever that plant the flowers open in between these days, between that 2 to 4th day, all the flowers is chappy, because at the time there won't be any pollen supply from the R line, because that R going to comes to flowering only on 4th day, only on 4th day. But the A that open up on the 2nd itself. So in between these period, whatever that pollen, whatever that flowers going to open in the A line, so that won't receive any pollen. So due to non-availability of pollen, so these populations we cannot harvest any seed material. Similarly, that the flowering period also very short in the case of the R line when compared to that R line. So because of that, this will start to give pollen from 4th to 12th day. So whatever that flower going to be there in the A line during this period, that is 4th to 12th day period, that will be supplied with adequate amount of the pollen by the R line. Okay, there won't be any problem. So here that plant will receive the pollen, and there will be a pakka seed set. But here that flowering period of that A is 12th day, so 12 days. So because of that, the beyond the 12th day, so whatever that flowers going to appear in the A line, again that have the problem of that non-availability of the pollen, because that R line that flowering period is for about 8 days something. So because of that, that will that end up that flowering on 12th day, whereas that flowering period of that A is more than that. So because of that, this area, whatever that plant going to comes to flowering, that also going to have that chappy material. So similarly here also. So because of these problems, so this area, so these days, whatever that A line comes to flowering, everything will become a chappy seed material, and similarly here also. So here we are not in a position to convert all the female flowers into seeds. That's a problem. So this is mainly because of non-synchronized flowering between the A into R. So to overcome these particular problems, what we are recommending is, instead of transplanting of that single seedling per hill in the R line, better we can have a two seedlings per hill in R line. The two seedlings also are two different ages. The two seedlings also are two different ages. Say example, so this is the things, the first diagram. So this kind of things will happen. Suppose you are going to transplant that R line and A line seedling with the same age. So here whatever that seedlings used for transplanting of the A and R of them are both similar ages, same ages. 25 days mean 25 days. So both the seedling ages 25 days. So the same age, there will be a delay in getting that pollen supply from the R line for about 2 days delay. Later only that R line comes to flowering. So here we need to have some seedling, R line seedling, that should be of that the higher age when compared to A line. Suppose here that A is 25 days old and R also 25 days old, means this is happening. Suppose you are going to have 25 days seedlings. In addition to that, in R line you are going to place some 30 days old seedling, means definitely that 30 days old seedlings will comes to flowering early when compared to this one. So that strategy we are going to follow, that is given here. So here we are going to have two number of seedlings per hill in the R line. That seedlings also are two different ages. One seedling is that same age as that of the R line. That another seedling is somewhat older than the A line material. So because of that, so suppose that older seedling that will start flowering exactly on the same day as that of the A line. So that is given here. So here that dotted line is a A line, whereas the solid line is a R line. These R line seedlings are somewhat older than your A line material. So this is somewhat older than the, that is aged somewhat 5 days or something older than the A seedlings. Similarly that one more seedlings also we are going to place, that is maybe of the same age or somewhat younger than your A line material. This may be of that same age or younger than your A line material. So in this case, once that flowering, and that in the case of A line we are going to transplant the seedling with only one age alone. So this kind of staggering we are going to follow only for that R line. So here we planted that seedling with the same age in the case of A. So because of that, that will start flowering on second day. That flowering period is for about 12 days. That will up to 14 days there will be a flowering. So here in the case of R line we planted two seedlings with two different ages per hill. So that older seedling, one seedling is older than that A, another seedling is equal age or younger than that A. So whenever that A comes to flowering, at the time that older seedlings, that the A and that R line with age is older than that in that A, that also start flowering on the same day. So that will take care of that pollen supply for about 8 days. So as and when that flowering is over, after that also that A going to have a flower. Okay, but we planted another seedling also on the same hill. So that will comes to flowering on 5th day, means so that will take care that pollen supply from 6th to 14th day. So 6th to 14th day there will be a pollen supply. So here throughout the period of that A line flowering, we are ensuring that the pollen supply from the R line by the way of maintaining the R line seedling with the two different ages. So here there won't be any escape. So here everything is perfectly matched, so we can convert all the female flowers into a seed material. So that is the advantages. But here if at all any mismatch, any one day or something mismatch, instead of that starting that A flowering on second day, that start flowering on first day. First day means, so from the first day that will have a flowers up to 14 days. But in the older seedling that going to start that flowering on second day. So during that period of times we cannot supply the pollen to the A line. So if it is a little bit mismatch, here also we have some problem. So in order to overcome that problem also, we are recommending transplanting of R line with the three seedlings. That three seedlings also going to be three different ages. One is somewhat older than that R line, that A line. Another one is the same age. Another one is a younger age. So if it is a older one, that may start on the 0th day. That will take care that pollen supply up to 8th day. The another one is somewhat equal age. So that will start pollen supply from 4th day. That will go up to 12th day. Another one, so two younger age R line material that will start flowering on 8th day. That will take care pollen supply up to that 16th day also. So here during this period of time, definitely whatever that pollen is produced by the R line, that will be used for self pollinations. There won't be any loss here. But if it is that that prepone or postpone with reference to flowering of the A, but we can ensure. So if it is any prepone in the case of flowering of the A line, instead of 2 that will comes to flowering on first day, so the pollen, when the pollen will be available from the A, instead of starting flowering on the second day in the A, that comes to flowering on the 0th day, that time also the pollen is available in the R line. So here we are ensuring. Similarly, suppose that that A line that comes to flowering on 4th day instead of second day, means the flowering will occur up to 16th day, because in the A line that flowering period is 12 days. So once that start flowering on 4th day, that flowering will over by 16th day. But if it is extended up to 16th day, means there also we are ensuring pollen availability for about 16 days. So here also we are ensuring. So this is a way in which we can overcome that synchronization related problems. But at any cost, we have to ensure pollen supply to the airline whenever the airline have the the flowers. So that is the thing. So then only we can maximize the hybrid yield. So that is the thing. So this process normally known as a staggered sowing. So because of that, for hybrid separation purpose, we will have a R line with three different ages, like 14 days old seedling, 18 days old seedling, and 20 days old seedlings. Like that we have to transplant. And also, and that per hill we have to place 3 number of seedlings. So here per hill we have to place 3 number of seedlings. That 3 seedlings also with 3 different ages. That also very important. So this is the main operation as far as that hybrid seed production is concerned. Rest of the operations are almost equal to that of the that varietal seed production. So once that transplanting everything is over, we have to give adequate nutrient supplies. And here that spacing also I have given what spacing we have to adapt with reference to that A line transplanting, and what distance we have to maintain between the A into R, and that spacing need to be followed for transplanting of the R line, that is given here. Then fertilizers, so here we have to apply in basal, tillering, and panicle initiation stage. So the total quantity of the fertilizer requirement is 150 60 60 kg of NPK per hectare. So this is a system of planting. So here you can see, first we have to transplant that two rows of R-line material in all the places. You can see. After that, in this space we have to accommodate either 8 rows or 10 rows of the A-line material. So here you can see that they established plantations. So this and all R-line material, so this and all A-line material, again 2 rows of the R-line, then A-line, like that. So this is the thing. So here they followed 8:2. And then even after following that staggered sowing, if at all you feel any delay in flowering or any advancement in A-line flowering, so in order to delay that advancing parent with reference to flowering, you can apply that urea. So by the way of applying that urea, you can delay that flowering period. So for this purpose, you can apply 35 kg of urea per hectare to the advancing parent. Particularly, if any advancement is there in the A-line, that also we are going to have the problem. Another thing also there. Suppose that R-line that comes to flowering at early means, and there will be a pollen supply problem for the A-line at the back end. So if you want to delay that advancing parent with reference to flowering, we can apply that urea 35 kg per hectare, or you can spray that urea. So for the spray purpose means you can use that 20 kg urea in an knapsack sprayer. So there we have to use that 500 liters per hectare. This should be done on 70 days after sowing. That is the 4th stage of the panicle initiation. So here we have to carefully monitor that primordial initiation. Primordial initiation means that is a transformation from vegetative to the flowering stage. So you have to remove that stem and remove all the leaf hole and verify the process of that panicle development. So by that way only we will comes to know this advancing one or this flowering get delayed. So based on that informations, if you feel any advancement in flowering in one particular parent alone means, if you want to delay that process means better you can apply that urea. So by that way you can delay that process. And then at the time of flowering, so already we discussed, we have to do that supplementary pollination work also. So even though that wind is going to help us for transfer of the pollen from the R to A, but it's a natural process. Sometimes that wind velocity is more, sometimes that there won't be any wind, so that kind of problems also there. Anyhow, in addition to wind, we can also do some work. By that way we can ensure transfer of the pollen from R to A. So that is a very important and important work as far as that hybrid seed production paddy is concerned. So on the supplementary pollination purpose, here we are recommending two process. One is that row pulling, this process. Another one is rod driving or manually shaking that R-line material. So we have to enter into the field and shake the R-line. So by that way we are ensuring that dispersal of the pollen. And here you can see that two persons standing and they are having that rope in their hands. So they will pass the rope on these directions. Again they will repeat that operations. Okay, so that is a thing. So rope pulling or shaking with the help of two bamboo sticks, that should be done on peak and this is time. So and also that should be practiced during 30 to 40% of the spikelets are open. So 30 to 40% of the spikelets are open. 3 to 4 times we have to do in a day at a 30 minutes interval. This should be continued for about 7 to 10 days because the flowering period is 8 to 10 days. Okay, particularly in the case of R-line, some of the R-line, the flowering period is 8 days. So whenever that flowers are there in the R-line at the time and all, we have to do this practice. So this is not a one-day process. We have to repeat that rope pulling, rod driving and all those operations for about 7 to 10 days. Definitely this will help us to transfer the pollen from R to A. So if it is pollen is transferred from R to A, there will be a pakka seed set in the A line. So that is a advantage of this one. So that another problem encountered by the hybrid seed producers in rice is concerned. we are having so many number of hybrid. In all the hybrid we are using different type of different female parental line material. So the female parental line material, the major problem is incomplete panicle excision. Here you can see a part of a panicle alone come out of the leaf sheet, a part of a panicle remain within the leaf sheet. So whatever that the panicle that going to remain within the leaf sheet like this, that and fully covered by the leaf. So once it is covered by the leaf, and they are not able to receive the pollen from the orlan because that leaf sheet that prevent the entry of the pollen. So because of that particular problem, the whatever that the flowers available in this area that won't receive the pollen grain, so all those things will become a chappy. So this is another major problems encountered by the hybrid seed producers. So in order to overcome these particular problem, we have to make that female to exert the panicle well like this. So here you can see the whatever that panicle is there, that is completely come out of that leaf sheet. Okay, so the leaves and all available here, so that is completely come out of the leaf sheet. So all the flowers are exposed to outside. So here all the flowers will receive the pollen grain, so everything will convert into seeds. So to overcome this particular problem, what we have to do is we have to make the plant to well accept their pollen, well accept their panicle. So for that purpose, we have to apply GA3, gibberellic acid, that too for only that female parent. So we have to apply that one. So by that way, we can make that plant to exert the panicle fully outside. So for this purpose, we can apply GA3 at the rate of 50 gram per hectare, and that should be applied during 15 to 20% flowering stage. 2 times we have to apply. Today we are going to apply the next day morning also we have to apply that GA3. So that mechanism behind that panicle excision in the case of that GA3 applied to female parent is concerned, that GA3 that induces that internodal elongation, that is a main physiological property taken care by that GA3. So because of that GA3 also used for breaking that genetic dwarfism. So if you apply that GA3, so that internodal elongation will take place. So because of that process, whatever that flowers are get locked in the leaf sheet, that will come out of the leaf sheet, that will be exposed to outside, that will got the chance to get the pollen grains from the orlan. So here that GA3 application is very important. That should be applied to the female parent, not for the male parent. The purpose of applying that GA3 is to make the female parent to exert the panicle completely. Okay, that should not be any rice flowers within the leaf sheet. So that is a thing. So that is an important thing. Again, GA3 also it's a water insoluble. So to make it as soluble, we have to add few drops of that alcohol. Then you can transfer to the water. So by the way you can prepare that one. So these are all the important cultural operations. Then routine operations like that roguing, in all the cases we have to follow. Once you declare that crop is a seed crops, you have to do that roguing. So you have to identify the op types, voluntary plants, and the pollen contaminants. So everything should be removed from the both male as well as female parent. So that is very important operations. Similarly, we have to maintain that field standard also. So field standard with reference to female parent, with reference to male parent, here we have to maintain. So here that seed parent means that is a female parent. So for maximum permissible limit with reference to op type in the seed parent is concerned, if it is a foundation seed category, that is a parental line multiplication stage, the maximum permissible limit is 0.05%. Whereas during hybrid separation stage, so the maximum permissible op type limit in the female parent is 0.2. Same thing for that orlan also, pollinators for orlan, and pollen shutters, that is op type percentage in female parent is the same thing, 0.05%, where hybrid 0.1%. Then objectionable weeds, maximum permissible limit, so up to this limit they will permit. If it is exceed beyond this limit, at the time they will reject your field. So objectionable weed plants, the maximum permissible limit at foundation stage 0.01%, whereas in the certified stage that is a 0.02. Certified stage means there only you are going to do that hybrid seed production, that is a A into R. The rest of the stages only we are going to do that parental line multiplication alone. Then harvesting, so as and when that attain that physiological maturity, immediately we have to harvest and remove the R line material from the field. So here you can see that is given very clearly. So R line material we have to harvest and remove. So by that way we can ensure or we can prevent that mechanical admixture, so mixing of that R-line material with our hybrids. So by that way we can ensure that genetic purity of your resultant hybrid also. So first we have to harvest and remove the R-line material, then only we can harvest that hybrid seeds that is available in the A parental line materials. So here you can see harvesting. So here we can get the seed yield of 500 to 1200 kg. Here that range is very wider because that seed set not in our hands, whereas in the case of variety there we can ensure. So this much quantity means there will be a 20% plus or minus, whereas here that wider range, so 50% something, because here most of the operation in the hands of that nature and also the person who involved in the seed production operation also. So here nature also help us and that manpower also help us, then only we can ensure that maximum seed yield. If anyone is not ready to cooperate with us, the nature is not supporting us, at the time that yield will be reduced, and that human involvement also less, automatically that will be reflected in the seed yield. So here we have to take risk. If you take a risk, definitely you will earn more, because the hybrid the cost is more when compared to the variety. So this is a thing with reference to hybrid seed production in the case of a paddy. Thank you very much.